Good afternoon, friends. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me and giving this opportunity to meet all the young generation by this medium and media. Let us not waste time and focus on the career options which are available for the pharmaceutical industry or the pharmaceutical corporate. Okay, let us begin with a brief introduction how this pharma industry has been emerged in our country. Slide says that in 1930 there was one company called Bengal Chemical which was established long back before independence, and today India has gained immense importance. We will see in a subsequent slide what exactly we mean by importance and what is the contribution of the pharma industry per se to contribute in the GDP of the country, as well as what are the opportunities of the pharma domain. That also we will see. This pharmaceutical sector basically comprises of various verticals. Formulation is one. Formulation means the formulation of the product, that means manufacturing of the medicine. The first step is active pharmaceutical ingredients, that is API. In olden days we used to known as a bulk drug, right? So bulk drug is a raw material or the material, and formulation development is a process, and after formulation development there is a formulation area wherein these medicines are being manufactured. So formulation, API, bulk drugs, generic, very popular name nowadays, because there is a patent and applicable, and since the generic products are more popular because of their cost effectiveness and all, so generic is one. Novel drug delivery system and new chemical entities, biotechs and clinical research organization, being India, CRO, particularly clinical research organization, it has a very bright future, because most of the pharmaceutical industries or the companies, they are conducting the test here in India, and therefore CRO also nowadays getting much more importance with respect to the pharmaceutical industry. Now let us move to the Indian setup, how Indian setup or Indian companies looks like. The Indian pharmaceutical sector is highly fragmented. Yes, it is more than 20,000 registered companies nowadays, but if you look at the contribution, there are 70% contribution from the top 250 pharmaceutical companies, name which we came across every now and then. Those are the very reputed and eminent pharmaceutical companies. So these 250 pharmaceutical companies are contributing to the 70% of the pharma business. These companies are currently meeting 70% of the country's demand as far as drug is concerned. This is mainly through we are fortunate guys that we are in the state of Gujarat, right? And if you look at the origin of the pharmaceutical industry, most of the pharmaceutical industry has originated from the Mumbai, being a pharmaceutical hub. There are places in Mumbai like if you talk about the Mulund West, in a row you will find a couple of reputed multinational pharma companies in a old time. So Gujarat and Maharashtra, these are the two states where you will find most of the pharma companies have their base in this particular state. And so being a part of the Gujarat, I'm sure we have to take pride that yes, there are employment opportunities, because these all pharmaceutical companies are based in Gujarat and Maharashtra. Next. This is about the GDP. It just show you the picture, the big picture, that something which is beyond our expectation, that is we are contributing year and year after, and pharmaceutical business is definitely contributing much higher than what there is an expectation from the government. Next. Sorry. Okay. Now this is also a slide which is talking about the sector-wise contribution. If you look at the contribution of the manufacturing, because when we talk about the pharmaceutical industry per se, yes, manufacturing is the most important area and which is contributing more. And if you look at the total contribution out of 100%, there is a 16% which is contributing manufacturing area overall. And nowadays when there is a concept of Make in India, definitely this particular aspect of Make in India, the manufacturing sector of the country is definitely going to reach at a newer height. Definitely there is a tremendous growth as far as manufacturing setup of any business is concerned, irrespective of the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, now since we are based in Gujarat, let us talk about the Gujarat, right? Indian pharmaceutical industry is now third largest in the world in terms of volume and 14th in terms of value. According to that, 8% of the global production we are contributing. Means in a global scenario, whatever there is a consumption of the medicine, we are contributing 8% from the India. And 2% world pharmaceutical market produce around 20 to 4% of global generic drug here in Gujarat. Indian pharmaceutical market look poised. These are the old data, but yes, it is a very relevant as on date also. It is a 55 billion in 2020. That means in 2009 it was somewhere around 11.8. So it is almost 4 to 5 times growth which we are expecting in a time to come. And there are approximately 3,500 drug manufacturing companies in Gujarat. The state houses several established. I'm sure since we are part of this state, I'm sure we must be knowing about the renowned pharmaceutical companies. We will see which are those pharmaceutical companies. Okay. Now it is a matter of pride for all of us that 40% of the India's turnover from it is a Gujarat-based organization. So you can just imagine the 40% means around 50% contribution we are contributing from the Gujarat pharmaceutical companies, and which is catering to again 22% India's drug export requirement. As far as manpower is concerned, number is concerned, because we are here to ascertain or understand the feasibility or the possibility of the employment, and there are 52,000 employment as on date we are generating from the pharmaceutical industry. As far as manufacturing areas is concerned, the companies which are based in Gujarat. These are some of the companies which are renowned companies, and out of that the green color companies are the companies which are from the Gujarat, and there are entrepreneurs who are from the Gujarat, and they are running and doing the management of all these pharmaceutical companies. It is a matter of pride for all of us that Zydus Cadila, very well known, our chairman and managing director, and particularly when I am here at a place which is his native district, Mr. Pankaj Bhai R. Patel, he is holding the company of Zydus group of companies, and there are various business, of course. Nowadays we are into hospital also, we are into education institute also, and apart from this we are driving one wellness company called Zydus Wellness, which is into the business of cosmetic and other product. Sun Pharma, as we know, it is a Baroda based company. Claris Life Science, again it is Ahmedabad based company. Torrent, as we know, Sudhir Mehta and Samir Mehta, this is also Ahmedabad based company. Disman, again Mr. Vyas from Ahmedabad. Alembic, Mr. Amin, Chirayu Amin from Baroda. Intas Pharmaceutical, Mr. Churgar, Ahmedabad. So these all are the pharmaceutical companies which are based in Ahmedabad, and rest of the companies, they are having a base in Gujarat or the Ahmedabad. And all these are the very well known and very renowned companies. Okay, let us look at some of the players which are outside Gujarat and who are doing good. Biocon, Dr. Reddy is there in Hyderabad, Andhra. So these are the companies wherein we talk about, initially only we talk about 250 top pharmaceutical companies, right? So these are the part of those 250 pharmaceutical companies. Okay, now let us understand what is the strength and what is the weaknesses, because this is the most important thing for an individual also and for industry also. So if we look at the strength, it is not readable, boss, but anyway, in nutshell, see, basically we have everything here in Gujarat, right? We have a right infrastructure, we have right support from the government, it is a good environment we are having, but only issue which we are facing is a skilled workforce. Skilled workforce is a critical or the bottleneck as far as pharmaceutical companies are concerned. And therefore, for you, the young generation or the young student, it is an ample opportunity to grab this opportunity, because what is there as a weakness is that the skilled manpower, and second thing is a consistency in the manpower, right? These are the two basic constraint or the concern as an industry which we are facing, and therefore it is an opportunity for all of you that there is a good or pink future as far as pharmaceutical business is concerned in a time to come. Okay, so let us be prepared for this. What is there for the pharma profession or the science graduate or science post graduation that we are going to talk? India is being a huge nation, about 1 billion population. There is a youth available with us. That is our Prime Minister is also saying, and there are lot many programs which is around this youth by the earlier Gujarat government and now state government also, right? So the pharma related program BPharm given us an in-depth insight into the subject matter. Today we have sound knowledge of drug therapy. So let us understand what exactly pharma manufacturing is and pharma requirement is. So here we are talking about the different avenues and opportunities of the pharma professionals. It is open for science graduate, it is open for post graduation in science, it is open for pharmacy graduate, and it is open for the pharma post graduate also. So let us understand what these options are one by one in a slide to come. In fact, I was given understanding that there is a big chunk of people of pharmacy student. So I have to little bit modify my delivery, and sure at the point of time I will emphasize on opportunities for the science graduate and post graduation in science. So wherever there is a BPharma or whatever we have mentioned, at the same time science graduate is also applicable, that you have to keep in mind, like starting from academics. Now we talked about BPharm and MPharm. At the same time BSc and MSc also, they can also join academics, wherein they can pursue their career if there is an inclination towards the academics or coaching, mentoring sort of inclination, then definitely one can be a good academician. So that is a always ever available profession for all the graduation, post graduation. This is about the pharmacist, but maybe this will not be applicable to the science graduate, because there is some technicality into that, so it is applicable to the pharmacy students. Yes, here as a quality assurance health manager, definitely there can be application. We can think for that. The concept of this is not very much popular in India, but gradually, yes, there is a time to come where the outside also you will find some quality assurance manager who will talk about the quality of the product. In a recent time, we have come across the case of the Maggi, wherein we have found a deteriorate material or the substandard material into the product. So this is also equally important area in the time to come. Medical transcription, this is more applicable to the pharmacy graduate, but yes, the same can be applied to science graduate and post graduation in science also. Sales and marketing. This is a slightly different area, and as far as employment opportunity is concerned, yes, there is a big employment opportunity, because I will share you the numbers also at the later part of the presentation, wherein you will find that at least around 45% job opportunities are around sales and marketing. Because like country like India, wherein there are so many states, there are so many districts, and every district you will find one business officer or regional business manager in every district. So there is a whole long chain of marketing people or the sales people available if you want to sell your product into the domestic market. So this is a big opportunity as far as pharmacy students are concerned, as far as science students are concerned, and you can join any of the company as a medical representative, and you can climb the ladder over a period of time, and you can grow to the level of regional manager or maybe a product manager for a particular product with the renowned pharmaceutical companies. There are a couple of requirements for this profile. There should be a good inclination toward the touring, marketing job, flair should be there. Excellent communication is the basic and fundamental requirement. A level of confidence is also a basic requirement for this particular profile. But yes, there is a tremendous growth aspect attached to this profile. Clinical research, I am not very sure about the science graduate student, but yes, pharmacy and MPharm degree holders, because there are a couple of CROs here in India, the clinical research scientists, they have their value, I mean they are giving their value addition to this particular profile, and so there is a very good growth opportunity as far as CRO is concerned. And India being a young youth, knowledgeable people, availability of the people, as well as there is a cheap in the sense the low cost labor is available, therefore CRO is very popular here in India. Data manager, again it is not a very popular concept, but yes, for the pharmaceutical company this is an important area, because a pharmacist can seek employment as a data manager to store the data. And many of the IT companies, I came across the just few days back with the TCS, Tata Computer Consultancy Services. They are hiring pharmacists and science graduate to look after their data management. So data manager is one of the area where one can look into. Regulatory manager, what is regulatory? Regulatory is a requirement wherein local regulations, mean there are local rules and regulations, there are statutes, there are laws which are prevailing into the country. Now there should be somebody who should monitor, who should evaluate whether there is a level of compliance or not. So there is always a requirement of regulatory manager, and this regulatory manager is having a due importance as far as clinical approval is concerned, because there is some technicality involved into that approval, and post approval there are studies and trials. So this is one of the area one can always look into. Regulatory bodies. Now Gujarat state have food and drug department, and there are food and drug inspectors who used to visit the factories, who used to visit the medical stores, who used to visit food and drug, food industries also. So these are the regulatory authorities which can inspect the industry or the area, and for that there are requirement. But yes, there is a examination, like Gujarat Public Service Commission, there is a one exam, right? They are advertising about this food and drug inspector requirement, and on the basis of the clearance of this Public Service Commission examination, one can always opt for this profession. Biotechnology is one of the growing field, even in India as well as abroad. This is one of the coming up and very growing field. Okay, now let us focus on the pharmaceutical manufacturing area. So these are the couple of options which are available as far as pharmaceutical manufacturing area is concerned. So far we talked about the generic or the general requirement. Now let us focus on the requirement of the pharmaceutical manufacturing area. The first and foremost, the biggest chunk of the people is on a shop floor or the manufacturing professionals. Now production professionals in pharma manufacturing are responsible for carry out throughout the activities, conversion to be consumable. But yes, this is about the formulation manufacturing. But at the same time, as I mentioned, there is a API, active pharmaceutical ingredient units, which is a backward integration of the formulation, wherein we required science graduate, postgraduate science and BE chemical. So these are the options available for science graduate, post-graduation science and chemical engineer as far as API manufacturing is concerned. Quality assurance. Because of the quality consciousness, this is the area where you will find the manpower or the people more than the even manufacturing area at times. Why? Because these are the local inspectors, right? Quality assurance is the department who has a final stink in their hand before releasing the product to the market. Because they have to see the parameters, they have to see the specs of the product, and if those are not meeting up with the quality standards of the company, then they will not allow the product to the market. So quality assurance is a bigger department and very important department in a coming time. In a quality assurance department, we used to engage BSc, MSc, BPharm, MPharm, all type of students we used to engage, but of course with the proper training. As far as API is concerned, there is a requirement of science graduation and post graduation in science. Quality control professional. Like quality have two wings. Quality assurance is a very broader sense, but if we have to narrow down it, there is a quality control lab. Quality control lab comprises of various analytical activities like raw material testing, finished product testing, in-processing testing, then printing material testing. Micro is one of the area where the microbial count and all those things are taking place. So in pharmaceutical company, this is the one area which is a very important area as far as quality of the product is concerned. And therefore, whenever there is a regulatory audits, post-regulatory audits, you will find that there is always an addition in quality assurance and quality control manpower. So this is for the science student, this is the biggest opportunity to pursue your career in a quality control lab of any pharmaceutical companies, whether it is a API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, or whether it is a formulation plant. So this is the biggest opportunity for all of you guys. Yes, formulation research development, more or less this is for the pharmacy graduate and post-pharmacy graduate, because there is a research involved into that. Again, this is also applicable to the them, but yes, for API, active pharmaceutical ingredients, yes, there is a requirement of post-graduation of science, means MSc, as well as doctorate, right? Those who have done their PhD in particular on a particular topic, those are the suitable candidate as far as R&D area of API industry is concerned. Analytical research professional, just an extension of the quality control. There is a department called analytical development, and it is very close or very parallel to the quality control as we discussed. So this is also one of the area where maximum science graduate and post graduation students we are hiring for this particular area. Okay, this is about the job-wise distribution. As I mentioned in the beginning, that 45% of the jobs are related to this is an overview of any pharmaceutical company. This is just base I would like to share with you, wherein 45% of the jobs are pertaining to sales and marketing, which is a maximum chunk of the people. The second slot which is coming is 39% of the manufacturing slot, right? So 39% slot is for the manufacturing, where we used to engage particularly quality control, quality assurance, graduation in science and post-graduation in science. Now when I am representing company called Cadila Healthcare Limited, this is an opportunity for me to talk more about my company. So far we have discussed about the general employment opportunity which is applicable or available across the pharma sector, but let me share few things about the Zydus Cadila or the Cadila Healthcare. He is our late founder chairman Raman Bhai B. Patel. And as we discussed some time before, his son Pankaj Bhai R. Patel is our chairman and managing director, and a very dynamic personality and very well-known personality as far as Indian pharmaceutical business is concerned. Company was established in 1952. A lecturer by profession, late Raman Bhai Patel, 1952, he thought to start some business, and he, along with one of his friend, late Indravardhan Modi, they have started a company called Cadila Laboratory in 1952. With dedicated service, ultra-modern manufacturing process, Zydus Cadila ranked almost at that point of time also, around 1990, we were third and fourth largest pharmaceutical company of the country. And there was a vertical split, which was a very unique split, which took place in 1950 when two partners, Indravardhan Modi and late Raman Bhai Patel, they have decided to get their business separated or bifurcated, and therefore there was a restructuring activities which took place in 1995. When restructuring took place, we were around 300 crore. I mean, both the companies were around 300 crore. We started our new journey or newborn in 1995 with the 300 crore company. Currently, we are around 8,000 crore company, and our aim is by end of this year, we will be 10,000 crore company. So let us understand more about the company. This is our vision. As I mentioned, as I shared about our vision, that 10,000 crore by 2015, we are almost very close to that. We wanted to be a research-based pharmaceutical company by 2020. That is a very ambitious goal, but yes, we are aiming for that, and therefore we have a very well-equipped and well-infrastructured R&D center there in Moraiya, which is around 18 kilometers from the city of Ahmedabad. This is our mission. We are dedicated to life. That is our mantra. Our world is shaped by a profession for innovation, commitment to parameters, partners, and concern for the people in effort to create healthier communities globally. Not only in India, but now we are but we already reached globally. Okay. This is about the manufacturing setup across the country we are having. Let me take you through our various manufacturing setup. This is the Moraiya manufacturing setup, which is the biggest manufacturing setup of any pharmaceutical company in the country, where on a one location, the scale of the production is the highest as far as this plant is concerned. Again, Moraiya is, as I mentioned, it is around 18 kilometers from the city of Ahmedabad. Badi is a place which is in Himachal, which is on the border of Himachal and Haryana. There we have US FDA approved plant. Sikkim is a northern east state wherein we have a plant from where we are catering to the domestic market, Indian market. Goa, we have a unit, we have 2 units in fact at Goa, from where we are catering to the domestic as well as EMB market, emerging market business, we are catering from there. Topical is a facility which is there in Ahmedabad. So Moraiya, Topical and SEZ, these are the, and Lyo, these are the 4 facilities which are there in Ahmedabad. And SEZ is a coming up a very big scale unit there in SEZ in Ahmedabad. SEZ means Special Economic Zone, which is again around 20 kilometers on the same road. So these are the 4 manufacturing facilities in Ahmedabad. And these are the abroad plants. We have taken one company called Nesser in USA. So this is operational, and now it is out of this thing, and there is a US FDA approved. We have manufacturing facility there in Rico, that is in Brazil. So these are the plant, these are the about the manufacturing, formulation manufacturing plant. Apart from this, we have 2 API plant here in Gujarat. One is at place called Dabhasa, which is near Baroda, and the another one is at Ankleshwar. These are the 2 API plants, that means active pharmaceutical plants, which is a bulk drug, you can say. So these are the place where you can always look forward for an opportunity. This is more about the formulation manufacturing site, which I have talked about just now about the Moraiya. These are the various dosage forms which we are manufacturing at Moraiya. Okay. Now we say that we are fully integrated manufacturing, because see, in every product there are various things, like bulk drug is the first step, right? From bulk drug it comes to the formulation, and formulation it goes outside. So this is the full circle or full integrated manufacturing process. We have our fine chemical units there in Ahmedabad. Then bulk drug, bulk activities, as I mentioned, it is API, Dabhasa and Ankleshwar. Formulation development plant, we talked about all across the country. NDDS is a new drug discovery system. Packing development, because in any business now, packing is the most important thing, because ultimately customer what it sees, customer will always see the final product, and therefore packing development is also equally important. So we are into that business also. Finished dosage form, yes. Apart from this, we are in the vaccine also. At a Moraiya site, we have a vaccine unit, and we were the first company, we have launched H1N1 swine flu vaccine some time back. Bottle packaging is very popular in USA, not in India, because they are taking the medicine in a bulk. So bottle packaging is the area of our expertise. New molecule entity research, which is a prime important area as far as our R&D area is concerned. These are the some of the activities which we are undertaking as a part of our CRO activities. So what we are here we are saying is we are fully integrated pharmaceutical company. Okay, this is about the milestone. As I mentioned, we have started our journey with 200-300 crore in 1995. We are almost on the verge of completing our target of 10,000 crore in a time to come. I'm not sure what level of interest you will keep in this, but these are the different dosage form of the tablet. Now this is the slide which is talking about the accreditation or approvals this company is having. See, in a pharmaceutical business, whenever you wanted to export your goods, whenever you want to sell your product in a abroad market, then you must be having a approval of that particular country. Then the regulatory authority of that country will visit to your site. They will see your process. They will understand your system. They will see the documentation practices which you are having. They will also evaluate the kind of the talent or the people you are having. They will also see and evaluate what kind of the training efforts you are putting on your manpower, I mean developing your manpower. And on the basis of all the evaluation, then they will certify or they will give accreditation to your plant that yes, you can export your product to our countries. And it is a matter of pride that Zydus Cadila is having almost all the approvals which are prevailing into the globe. Okay. Now you must be having a question that this is okay, but what is for us? Right? Now let me share with you, this is our recruitment process. Right? The first and foremost requirement is the education institute. They should be registered in our standard college list. Right? If that approval is there, then there will be a campus interview in that particular institute. Now what is the process? Suppose that is a first step, but if it is everything goes smooth, then this is the process. Candidate has to open the test link. Test link means like in a bank and certain other areas, you will find that there is an online test, isn't it? Even if you have to appear for your post-graduation in a certain colleges, certain academic institute, they also you have to appear online test. Like we have also develop our own in-house online test. That test comprises of 3 areas. First is a domain test. Domain test which talks about your knowledge on your subject. Right? Now being a science graduate, we would like to evaluate your basic knowledge on particular subject. That is a 30-minute test. There are 30 questions and there is a defined cutoff. How we have defined the cutoff? We have defined the cutoff basis on the students who have appeared in the past. On the basis of the past performance, we have certain limit. Like suppose if there is a 16 as a cutoff, then those who have scored more than 16 in the particular domain test, then they are qualified for the next round. What is the next round? Next round is aptitude test and psychology test. Right? This is also a test of 30-40 minute test. So in all, but yes, there is a filter. If there is a cutoff mark passed, then the candidate can go for the second stage, that is psychometry and aptitude test. After this, on a completion of this, there will be a personal one-on-one meeting with our head of the department. And those head of the department for science graduation student are our quality control head, quality assurance head. These are the areas where normally we deploy the BSc and MSc students. Right? Now everything goes smooth, and if there is a technical suitability, then yes, there is an employment opportunity with the company. Now there is a question that what is for us? It's okay if everything we clear, we passed out, then what is next? So I am just sharing with you our current picture or current emolument or current stipend with you. It will not stipend because from the day one you are on a company role, you joined as a trainee, there will be a training of 1 year. Of course initially there will be a very vigorous training and behavioral training. Some of the behavioral topics like time management, like communication skill, like interpersonal skill, like team building. These are the various topics which we will teach you in an initial module of 3 months induction training. On a completion of that, for the BSc student, yes, they can start with us at 1.70 lakhs per annum. And for MSc it is 2.16 per annum. After completion of 1 year, the person who is getting 1.70 will automatically be getting 2.10 lakhs, and for MSc from 2.16 it is 2.66 for the second year. After passing the second year, the third year will be on the basis of the performance. There is a performance evaluation of each individual on a third year, and on the basis of the performance evaluation there are 4 categories: fair category, good category, very good category, and outstanding category. Based on the category of your performance, there is a percentage which has link, which is vary from 10 to 18%. So the third year increment will be based on your performance 10 to 18% of this amount. So these are the some contact IDs and contact numbers, contact person for particular area. If you are interested, you can note down, and you can always approach them on their mail ID. Okay, I am through with current presentation. The next slide is something which may not be of your interest, which is talking about the pharma technician course, which we have signed as a very unique MOU with the Gujarat government. But yes, for the BSc and for post graduation in science, these are the avenues, these are the opportunities available for all the pharmaceutical companies, and in very specific I have mentioned about the opportunities available with the Zydus Cadila also. Any questions, any doubt are always welcome. Yes, please.
Please come forward.
Afternoon. Please.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Myself Hiral Meda.
Okay.
I am pursuing my final year of BSc with chemistry.
Right.
And my question is that to you, sir. After completion of BSc, when we are applying your company as a new employee, what should be the post of our after BSc?
Okay.
And what is the meaning of QC?
QC is quality control. We have talked about earlier.
And
Quality control.
okay.
Right? We have talked about quality control, various processes also. In a quality control, there are various sections. I talked about that: raw material testing, finished product testing, in-process testing, packing material testing, micro lab area. These are the various areas of the quality control department, wherein we used to engage the BSc and MSc student. And there are instruments like HPLC. You know HPLC? GC, gas chromatography, and all those kind of the analytical instruments are there in the laboratory, I mean quality control department. And after proper induction in terms of training on standard operating procedures, SOP of the department, the person will allow to work independently after 6 months. So 1 year will be a training period. So initially designation will be trainee for 1 year. Post completion of the training, currently we are imparting the designation of technical supervisor, but this designation is under review for certain reasons. Maybe in a time to come, I am not guaranteeing, but it will be like junior officer or something like that we wanted to renamed it. But currently, yes, the first year is a trainee. 1 whole year your designation will be trainee. After successful completion of the training, the candidate will be absorbed as a technical supervisor. Or in another word, you can say, yes, analyst, right? To understand better, it is a analyst or the chemist. Yes,
Sir,
please.
what is the work of MR in MR?
Medical representative.
Yes.
As a medical representative, it is a marketing job, sales and marketing job. You will be given proper training, grooming, how to talk to the doctors. You have to visit the doctors list which is given to you, right? You have to seek the appointment of the doctors. You have to meet the doctors, and you have to canvass your product. You will be given a standard material or the kit wherein you have information of the product, medicine. You have to meet the doctors and you have to sell your product. In terms of technically, you have to present the company before the doctors, and basis of your presentation, there will be acceptance with the doctors, and if doctor will accept your product, then doctor will start the prescribing. So one is you have to meet the doctors. Second, you have to make a continuous market research wherein you have to meet the stockist. You have to meet the stockist, and you have to understand that for a particular segment, which kind of the product is running into the market. So that is the MIS or the information source for the company. Clear? Good.
Thank you.